Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates. I am Major Frank Talbert, currently serving within the United Nations Mine Action Service as an IED Threat Mitigation Advisor. Today, I will be presenting on the genesis of UN doctrine development and curriculum development between the UN Office of Military Affairs, UNMAS, and the UN Integrated Training Service. To start, in 2015, the UN created its first Engineer Unit Manual. In 2016, the UN created the IED Threat Mitigation Handbook. And from there, it was quickly realized that the development of all IED threat mitigation doctrine and following curriculum needed to be aligned and synchronized. So in 2017, the first iteration of the EOD Unit Manual was created, and in 2018, UNMAS created the IEDD standards. In early 2020, the second iteration of the Engineer Unit Manual with a new IED Search Unit Annex was created, and it was recently adopted by the UN within the last 2 months. And in early 2020 as well, the EOD Unit Manual went through its second revision and is currently in the final stages of review before it is adopted within the Office of Military Affairs. Speaking specifically to the EOD Unit Manual, this was designed to align all conventional munitions disposal elements under the International Mine Action Standards and all IED disposal elements under the UN IED standards. This was created prior to IMAS adopting IED standards of its own, which will be considered in the next IEDD standards revision in 2021. Once the curriculum was developed, once the doctrine was developed, the curriculum work began within the UN Integrated Training Service. The Integrated Training Service took the EOD Unit Manual and the IEDD standards and began working on their specialized training material that would be required for all UN pledged EOD or IEDD peacekeeping forces to receive and show competency in before they would be allowed to deploy within a peacekeeping mission. Concurrently, UNMAS began work in partnership with Janus to create a technical EOD and IEDD curriculum that would be specifically designed to train national EOD and IEDD forces to a basic accepted standard to deploy to a peacekeeping operation, explosive hazard awareness training, which is meant for all peacekeeping forces as a general hazards awareness course of what they could face in a mission setting. IED threat mitigation training, which is designed for staff officers to instruct on the best possible methods of employing EOD and IED forces that they may have under their control once in a peacekeeping operation. And then finally, a train the trainer course that is designed to supplement national training standards for EOD and IEDD trainers that our newly developed mobile training team will deliver to any nation that requests it in order to strengthen their EOD or IEDD training capacity. How we plan to implement this technical curriculum in partnership with ITS. First, so our mobile training team will be fully operational the first quarter of 2021. Once it is operational, we plan to visit the largest regional training centers and national training centers to conduct assessments, provide train the trainer courses, and as well as the full technical training curriculum suite to embed within their own curriculum and, if needed, raise their curriculum up to the UN minimum standards. We are providing this service to the larger regional training centers and national training centers first, because we want to affect the most peacekeeping forces as quickly as possible. And this we have determined is the best way to do that. Secondly, we will be partnering with any bilateral training forces that have been requested by peacekeeping nations to provide EOD or IEDD supplemental training. We will embed our training standards within their curriculum and ensure that it is aligned. And in doing so, we will further expand our curriculum's range and effectiveness to other nations that may not otherwise receive it. Thirdly, if requested by current EOD or IEDD troop contributing countries, we will assess and assist their national training centers to raise their EOD training standard even further to meet the United Nations peacekeeping operation standards for deployment. Next, we will entertain requests from troop contributing countries that have shown interest within the Office of Military Affairs Force Generation Service to provide prospective future EOD forces or IEDD forces. And lastly, once we have rolled out this curriculum to all the aforementioned elements, any other nations that are interested in growing their own EOD capacity, as time permits, we will provide assessments, the train the trainer course, and deliver the curriculum. Thank you for your time. This concludes my presentation. I will be available both days, the 6th and the 7th, at the UNMAS one-to-one matchmaking event hosted by Mark Wilkinson at 2 to 5 p.m. EAT. Thank you for your time.